Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to OTL Racing here on Twitch for a casual ACC night here in the long-awaited GT4 cars released yesterday, and everyone chomping at the bit to give them as much of a bit of time. They've been racing GT3s for God knows how long, so a little bit of variety, a little bit of change. So I think everyone's enjoying them. We've got two races this evening, two sprint races of 20 minutes. So currently on board with current pole sitter Joe LaCour, only by 9 thousandths of a second though. Brands Hatch GP for race number 1, and then we are off to the Dutch track of Zandvoort. He said Zolder, that's not in there, yep. We're off to Zandvoort for race number 2, again 20 minutes. So yeah, we'll have a few people hopefully be able to jump in as the night goes. But we are only 4 minutes away from qualifying now in the first race of the evening. So Joe LaCour currently on provisional pole and quickest. Oh, that goes there very nicely as well. I think it might have been by is that Kieran Sharp? It was. So really good letting go that was. Not the easiest place to do it. So let's see what Joe can do in the Aston GT4. Looking solid as well in that V8 Vantage. What time is he going to set? He's going to go quicker. Look at that. So yeah, another quarter of a second. Pulls that lead just that little bit further out now. So Scott just coming to the line. Does not improve. Brave man decided to go in the Maserati. No traction control, no ABS. So glutton for punishment very clearly. We've got Zvonimir Burek in third at the moment. He's in the pits. Daniel O'Brien also in the Aston. We have Kieran Sharp. He's gone for the Ginetta, the G55 GT4. Round here should be very strong, really. Good through the corners, but its top end very down on a lot of the other cars. We've got Scott Nichols here. That's once we catch him. There we are. Well done, cameraman. Thank you very much for that. So it looks like he has gone for the Camaro. A bit of a lawnmower for a second there. Not how he was hoping to go around there, but he's round nonetheless. We've got Ash Gledel in the KTM Crossbow. I'm quite fond of how that car looks, if I'm honest. Don't know why. Something a little bit different from the rest. Stands out like a sore thumb. We have Matt Acton. You know, an odd choice of colour there, but he's in the Porsche, the 718 Cayman. Down in 8th at the moment, 1.7 off the leads. Will take a little bit of time to get used to. Oh, and Kieran Sharp there, as I said. Ginetta should be strong round here through those corners. It is a beast, but on circuits with long straights, it will suffer terribly. We've got a couple of more Ginettas here. We've got David Martin in 9th. We have Dean Thompson down in 10th. Good to see him on here. Often seen in the Xbox leagues as Captain Crampy, but yes, he's be interesting to see how he can fare this evening. We have Sebastian Busch in the Alpine. We have Stefan Miller. He's in the pits. A few people who haven't been able to set times or have been invalidating laps. So Stefan Miller in the Porsche. We have Andrew Pike and Killian Ryan Meenan, both in the BMW M4. Killian, obviously, we know how fast he is. Won the first warm-up race for our upcoming ACC season. And superbly well he did that too. And then we've got Janos Wenzel. He's in the final driver. He's in the AMG, Mercedes AMG. So is he going to set a lap time here? No, he's not. So he'll have one go. He'll have one attempt to set a better time. Kieran Sharp is in the pit, so he is done. Joe LaCour, let's follow him round now. So only half a tenth between him and pole for the first race. Evening, Johnny, evening. Hope you're well. Well, his car stopped on track and he's done. So he's gone on board with Scott Vincent, the brave boy in that Maserati. Will he get one more lap? If he can get to that line in the next 5 seconds, he might just have enough time. Yeah, he does. He'll have one more go. Did not improve on that lap. So 3 of the top 4 already in the pits. Daniel O'Brien early on his lap as well. Big fan of he's always a big fan of a black and red livery, so not surprised to see him there in the FANATEC livery as well. Very nice. Good to hear, man. Good to hear, as always. So 3/4 of a second for him to catch up on. As I said, quite a few of these drivers will be still just getting used to the GT4s. I think they don't come to consoles for some while yet. It's quite a long time. End of the year, I think consoles get the Intercontinental GT pack next week. I don't believe it's next Wednesday. It's either next Wednesday or next Thursday, 22nd or 23rd. So what can Daniel O'Brien do? I think he's down on his lap time, so I think he'll probably he might just keep going to the end, but I wouldn't be surprised if he decided to leave it there. Only David Martin, Wenzel and Ryan Meenan, he's done as well now, so he's in the pit, so he didn't get a proper lap time in. Did get in fairly late into the session. So Daniel O'Brien, it's a bit more practice, a bit more track time. And yes, everyone give it a good old go there. So we do have quite a few different cars in here this evening. So we've got those Audis. It says Martin, Bush and Thompson all in. Oh, that's okay. They're old times. So yeah, we haven't got that many. There's not 18 there. There's previous joins. We love this track map facility. Be able to click on the. You can click on the. Dots in the map and go to those cars. That's very cool. It's very cool things they've added to the game 1.5, the update that came yesterday with the new cars. Evening, Jay Higg. Evening. Hope you are well. So yes, at the moment I don't know if it's not skipping to the next session because David Martin's still out on track. I'm not sure. Green flag though. Marshall's telling him to go. Get a move on. But yeah, weird. Timer's not. Timer has ceased to keep counting down for me. That's a bit weird. We'll have to see what's going on there in a little bit. Majestic flag waving though. That man's arm will be hurting. So yeah, I'm not sure if that is waiting for David Martin or not. Yes, Kieran Sharp on pole. Just half a tenth clear of Joseph LaCour. Oh, I call him Joseph LaCour. Probably no one here calls him that. Joe LaCour, Scott Vincent and Svolomir Burek quite close. And the Maserati and the McLaren in 3rd and 4th. Daniel O'Brien in the Aston in 5th. Just ahead of Scott Nichols and that Camaro in 6th. Ash Gledel in 7th in the crossbow. The Porsche of Matt Acton in 8th. And then the two Ginettas. Oh, so we have, no, I think that was David Martin. So I think he had an issue there. As soon as he popped off, we went straight to the race lobby. So a bit weird. Not quite sure what happened there. I wonder if that's a new bug they've implemented. Very kind of them if so. So yes, we've got 6 minutes. So a bit of time here. I think it will use all of that time as well. I don't think they'll need all of it, but I might want to have a bit of a look around at the setups. See what they can change. Each car will be different. A lot less customization enabled compared to the GT3s, for example, but I don't think they'll mind that. A bit more jump in and go. Very different styles between cars. As I said, you have the Ginetta, which on a track with a really long straight will be absolutely butchered. Its top speed is hugely down, like 20 to 30 kilometers an hour, less than some of the more powerful cars like the Porsche. But on a track with twistier sections, as you can see by Kieran Sharp at the top, it is fairly strong. I know he's good round here anyways. I don't suspect he'll take that track round Zandvoort, but I might be wrong. Might be a pretty strong round there too. So yes, we have 4.5 minutes to go. So quite a long break in between. But so just gives anyone a chance to get a quick drink. Quick loo break if they need it, if they didn't go before we started. Evening legger. Yeah, missed it by not very much either. Minute and a half, 2 minutes? I'll say that was more 4 or 5 because there was a weird bit in between. But yeah, 4 minutes to go. And then we'll have race number 2. See if anyone else can join in between as well. There might be a few extras that want to pop into the lobby for race number 2. I don't imagine they're going to a race number 3, but you never know. Depends how much fun they are having. So you can see the little bit of more information you get on the top right as well. So you get the weather forecast on screen for us. That was hidden away in the pause menu beforehand. So you can see the wind direction compared to the car. So from the front right down and the left a little bit towards the rear, but it's very, very weak, so it won't make any difference. Track temperature of 28 Celsius and air temperature of 23. Optimum track conditions, and you can see the weather is nice and fair. A little bit of sun, tiny bit of white cloud, but I think it should make for some fairly pleasant racing. So 3 minutes remaining now until they get going. So good mix of cars here. I think the Audi might be the only car we haven't got represented. So we have got the Alpine. No Audi R8s. We have the Aston. We have the BMW. We have the Camaro. We have the Ginetta. We have the Crossbow. We have the Maserati. We have the McLaren, and we have an AMG. And we definitely do have a couple of Porsches. So yeah, it's quite a good mix, really. It's nice that there's been a bit of variety there, and people have decided to try something slightly different. Well, they will happen when they are technically even possible, which is some time away. Well, there's a few bits and bobs, complications that might, that'll be interesting to work out nearer the time. But at the moment, until you can do private lobbies, not public lobbies, of course. Until you can do private lobbies, we will. Yes, there's no need for us to even think about them, unfortunately. To be honest, well, the thing is, you can't do private lobbies easily on PC either. You have to host them on servers, or you literally have to host them on your own server. So we have our own dedicated server that we run a few different bits and bobs on, and yeah, ACC is one of them. So actually, it's a completely different technical challenge for you to be able to host a private lobby on Xbox. You will need to be able to do something you can't do on PC. What was it? Is the 6 minutes slightly more than he meant? It's about a third of the race length. Come on, Sharpie. That's all right. At least they've all got long enough. You can see Sharpie's using all of his time in the setups. Car got cocking its leg up. But yeah, no, it's 2 minute delay. Crikey, you missed that by a fair chunk. Oh well, can't say they haven't not got nicely rested. So I did think when that came up with 6 minutes, I'm like, I don't think he's meant that. But yes, no, you can't do. So a bit like Project Cars, you can. That's one of the things at ACES is how easy it is to set up lobbies. You can't do that on ACC or Race Room, I don't think, for that matter, or Wreckfest. Quite a lot of PC games you aren't able to. But yeah, you just have to. They've got a formation app on top of this as well. Good lord, it'll be 9 o'clock before we know it. So yeah, it's something you can't do on PC. So it's actually a completely different functionality. I don't think it'll be that long. I think we'll have it by the end of August. I don't think it'll be that far away. I think that's the thing they're working on now. But yeah, so how that tool will work, whether it will be a built-in in-game thing, I don't know. Yeah, they're an attempt. I can improve them, but yeah, I effectively went for like black, orange, bronze, silver, gold, and diamond. Diamond being the blue one, which is what you've got, because you can only go up to a year. Evening, Lozzie. Oh, thanks for the 7 cheers. Nice number. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing okay. And finally, that 6 minutes is up. God, that took forever. Oh, thank you very much, Nath. I do try. I try not to pretend that I know what I'm doing, but... So, nice short formation, that. Thank the Lord for that. We've had 6 minutes of waiting. I've gone to Helicam for a nice top-down view. Now we're getting ready to launch it at the line. Joseph LaCour. Don't know why I've suddenly started calling him Joseph. Joe LaCour. Ready and waiting to pounce. Try and make a go as early as you can at Kieran Sharp. Just going to just make sure he gets that speed limit nicely. Does not go too fast. Don't no one will be wanting to get a penalty right at the start. Yeah, Crampy.
Green light.
Oh, my legs got in very late as well, so I don't know how that's going to work out. So they are off. Kieran Sharp is going to hold that lead. He's going to have to hug that inside line, try and stop Scott going for that curb. We know how good Scott is at the start, knows when to be aggressive, so needs to hold him back. Kieran Sharp doing a good job there, coming down into Druids. Sharp's got a bit wide. That will leave the door open for Joe LaCour. Scott Vincent trying to follow behind in the Maserati. Geronimo Burek, Daniel O'Brien and Scott Nichols all quite close in behind too, in 4th, 5th and 6th. Kieran Sharp with a good getaway there. Joe LaCour looking really strong here in that Aston. It's clearly very comfortable in this GT4s. He's going to make the move. Yeah, he comes up into the lead, coming up the hill. He's a little bit of the run off. Kieran Sharp now just in behind. Geronimo Burek trying to close in. Bit ahead of Daniel O'Brien. Scott Vincent a few tenths ahead now, but half a second. That's a well-placed bridge. There we go. Thanks, cameraman. Oh, Kieran Sharp. I think that was. Who was that? Scott Vincent and Joe LaCour. A little tap there, but they're still going okay. That's Scott Vincent now. Was Scott Vincent and Kieran Sharp getting nice and close. That Maserati just making its way through, so Kieran's going to now have to get fighting, try and make his way back past. Now, clearly Scott quite liking that Maserati, not quite enjoying that. I think if it rains, it's pretty much a death wish. So he'll be in the pit. Yeah, I thought so. It's all good. Getting ready for the next race. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of these. There'll be a league sign up coming up for these in the next couple of days, so you can get in on that. They'll be on Thursday nights as well. This GT4 league will be in this slot, but they are now the cracking car. They should provide some good racing. Joe LaCour very clearly just hugely comfortable with this GT4 car. Daniel O'Brien in the background making the move. On Zvonimir Burek. I think that's Ash Gledel in the GT4 though as well, in behind nice and close. These GT4s should provide some very close racing. They usually do, just the nature of the cars and what you can do with the setups, as well as just being heavier cars that don't have quite as much power. Probably 4 or 5 seconds a lap down, maybe a bit further around here. A little bit of a wiggle there from Ash in that KTM. Let's go back on board with Scott Nichols in the Camaro. That beast of a car. We've got Killian Ryan Meanin behind him in the BMW, the M4. At the moment, about well, actually, my I'll tell you once they cross the line, because my broadcasting tool got all confused by the 6-minute wait we had in between. At the moment, the best laps are 13 minutes 5 seconds. So take that how you will. I'll know in a minute when they cross the line for the. Well, actually, second lap will be more a good yardstick, but we will see. So Killian looking very close now to the back of Scott Nichols. So we know how quick he is. He's going to look up the inside coming into the final corner. Yeah, and he's going to go for that move. He has to leave the room there, Nichols, and does nicely so. Uses all the room on the outside using that curb, but Ryan Meanin is through. We've got Dean Thompson not far behind them as well. In that Ginetta G55. Matt Acton in that nasty coloured Porsche. We've got car off in the gravel. Is that Killian Ryan Meanin? I think it might have been. Yep, and he's had to drop all the way back now. Oh, there's a car. I think that is Steph Miller. Stephen Miller missing the braking zone there. So that was about 132, 133. So it's not. They're not hugely far off, but they're enough off. Be interesting to see when we do multi-class in these how they fare. Got Sebastian Bush a little bit further back. We've got Wenzel just behind him, Janos Wenzel. Martin Legg did start in the pits, but he's got out, and I don't know if that car has already seen a trip to the wall. Hopefully not. But he knows he's not going to be in and around them because he joined afterwards, but they were in the loading up screen. So this is getting a bit of track time, which is what this is mostly about. It might, you're going to get you're going to get quite a bit of marbles. Nasty on here as well when you get on them. Different games have different variety of and variations of realism and what they can handle. On PC, a bit more processing power, so you can get away with that a little bit more. So look at this, 1.8 second lead from Joe LaCour. Great start. So he's clearly put in some laps in this bad boy already, getting very comfortable. He's already stretched that lead out to 1.8 seconds. Scott Vincent and Kieran Sharp trying to vie for that second and third spot. Let's get that name right again. Daniel O'Brien in fourth, 2.2 back. had an incident a little bit further back, a little bit of touch. It always comes up as accident on the broadcasting tool. Sometimes that just means the cars have literally touched. That's very sideways from Sebastian Busch. Driving it like he stole it. Looks a bit worse for wear as well, but again, new cars, going to take a little bit of getting used to for everybody. Sure, they're all enjoying themselves, which is the main thing, just trying to get used to these cars in race action. Let's see Killian Ryan meaning. So got past Andrew Pike now, up to a top 10 spot. Now I've got Matt Acton and Dean Thompson just ahead of him. So I think you'll see a lot more of these this close racing in league races as well, especially with the larger grids. I'm sure we will get. So like I said, that sign up will be in the next couple of days. It'll be for Thursday nights. Got Ryan Manning looking up the inside, so he knows when he needs to try and go for a move. Car off in the grass in the foreground, but no, Ryan Manning is through. Matt Acton, no, wants a bit of this action. He wants to get past. Look at a very, very shiny BMW, as opposed to the metallic turd coloured. That is Matt Acton in that Porsche in 10th position. So let's go on board with Kieran Sharp, just trying to get Scott Vincent just to close that gap a little bit further. Just struggling at the moment. Maserati doing fairly well. As you hear the noise of these cars, more glorious sounds on ACC as always. Got both of them just going a little bit wide there, struggling. These are newer cars, so still literally been out for what? About 28 hours at this point, 20, maybe 30 hours. So very little track time been done in these cars. And ACC is a game where you want to put lots of track time in. Practice does make perfect. Kieran Sharp just trying to do what you can to close him down. Oh, Scott Vincent getting very loose there, so that is going to close in nicely. So yeah, down to about 6/10 at the last sector. And then the train of cars, 3 cars behind. Daniel O'Brien in 4th, Volodymyr Burek. That McLaren, look at that, so close in behind now. He's going to make a move. That blasted bridge, there we go. Burek not able to make that move, not able to get alongside, so Daniel O'Brien holds on to 4th. Ash Gledel just behind him in 6th. Once the cameraman finds him, there we go. So we'll go on board with his front on view. You can see how close these 3 are. So I like this, quite like this KTM. Good all-round car, but looking quite strong. This train of 3 cars. And you've got Scott Nichols about 4 seconds back, and then Ryan Meenan another 3 back from them. But 12 minutes left to go still. So I'm sure once Ryan Meenan knows what car he prefers and what he's quickest in, then he will be absolutely rapid as he is in the Porsche, in the GT3s. So we're going to make a move up into Druids. He's looked down the inside, shown his nose. Decides not to go for it quite yet. Oh, Burek leaving the tiniest bit of room. Oh, Ash Gledel just wants to get on the throttle, but just didn't want to spin round Zvonimir, and rightly so. So just want to be careful. Just treading lightly around Graham Hill. Doesn't use much runoff, because maybe use a little bit more curb there if he wanted. But you know, good fighting from these 3 guys at the moment. Kieran Sharp getting away from Scott Vincent. So Vincent struggling a little bit now in that Maserati. Maybe those tyres are starting to cause him a few issues. The lack of ABS and traction control, you'd imagine, might cause him a bit of a problem. Depends if that really does, if that means you end up cooking the tyres more, or whether he's just struggling with the car a little bit. We'll have to be quite a precise driving style. You have to be on it and focused in that car. Don't think you'll see that many taking the Maserati, but fair play to him. Let's come back with Scott Nichols now. So he's in. Oh, there we go. 7th. Thank you very much, cameraman. Fairway clear of Killian Ryan Meenan, who comes through a couple of seconds behind him. Matt Acton now a few seconds off, so he's dropped back a little bit. Dean Thompson. There we go. Fighting with Andrew Pike and Stefan Miller. Oh, and there's I think that was Pike. No, who's that? I think that might be is that a back runner? I'm not sure there. Or was that Andrew Pike? That might have been Andrew Pike. It was. So he went off into the gravel there. Coming into the second to last corner, so that will drop him back a little bit. Dean Thompson up to 10th now. Trying to fight with Matt Acton. Oh, he's got Steph Miller right behind him though, half a second. So no, Matt Acton, sorry, a few seconds up the road. So Steph Miller wants that top 10 spot off of Dean Thompson. But Thompson driving pretty well so far. So it has this game on console as well. So the physics are pretty much identical. Oh, and that is Matt Acton. So
We are halfway through.
he's spun it round at Druids. And so he's now going to be under siege from Andrew Bucks. Oh, you can just see he's struggling now. Gets it back on the road. But so Stephen Miller up to 10th. Andrew Pike down up to 11th now. And Acton down to 12th position. So just struggling a little bit. Well, David Martin has got back in for the next race as well. That's good. So he had an issue at the start. I think that's why we were a little bit delayed. That and Sharpie's 6-minute race delay. But we're going now fine and dandy. So yeah, 32s, 32 threes. Roughly the best laps we're seeing at the moment. Best lap of the race so far being a 32.229 from Joe LaCour. Well, David Martin has obviously rejoined the server. Thought he'll get out and do some laps, but has got to stop go for speeding in the pits, trying to leave the pits. Hopefully does not get in the way of any of the cars coming around now. I think he'll be okay. He's in a nice big wodge of air on his own. Can actually check on the track map. You can see here. So car number 16. Oh, thank you very much for the 100. Cheers, Lottie. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, no, car number 17, you can see. So, he's a bit on its own now, just coming into that GP section top right. So, he's in. He's not going to be getting in anyone's way, I don't think. So, at least he can get some track time. As I said, much like Martin Legg, joined a bit after it started, but shouldn't cause any problems. So, Sharp now just trying to close this gap on Joe LaCour. Doing quite a good job of it. 1.2 seconds. So, this could get close towards the end. So Joe LaCour looked comfortable, but Sharp is pushing. His best lap was on the previous lap as well, so he is going as quick as he's gone all race now, Kieran Sharp. Joe LaCour is going to have to start defending, start being careful of the lines he takes. That gap coming down bit by bit. So Scott Vincent has gone backwards into the grasps of Daniel O'Brien. See how fast Scott Vincent is. No, wrong camera. There we go. So yes, that's the onboard camera. Looking forward, you can see Scott Vincent 1.7 seconds, but with the obvious problems Vincent has been having, I don't think this is out of Daniel O'Brien's grasp at all. Could easily close this down over the final 7.5 minutes. So you get a lot more close racing in the GT4s, like I said, in a bigger field where there would have been a lot of drivers with more time in these cars, more practice, found the car they prefer, learn how to drive them precisely, so they get more consistent, make less mistakes. Then I think it'll be very interesting to see some close fighting. You can see though, look at this, Ash Gledel still following Zvonimir Burek, still can't quite make his way past, but still close quarters between the three of them. All four of them really not too far apart. Close enough that even the slightest mistake will drop you back quite dramatically. Killian Ryan Meenan here trying to close in on Scott Nichols, doing a good job of it as well. 1.3 seconds away, 33 flat on the last lap. So Kieran Sharp now within a second of the leads. We'll go back on board with him in a minute. Stephen Miller, let's go on board with him. So he's holding off Andrew Pike quite nicely at the moment. So a lot of these guys have decent pace, just struggling a bit with mistakes. They've been setting half decent lap times. Not the easiest track if you don't entirely comfortable with the car, to be honest. This GP section is never nice when you've got a car that isn't feeling particularly planted. Well, that's a funky bunch of emojis. Loving that. Or emote, shall I say. Squid 1 to Squid 5. And highlighted, very nicely done too. So let's go back up to the top. So Kieran Sharp is reeling in now. Joe LaCour, an alarming rate for Joe LaCour's sake anyways. That's come in by a good 3 or 4 tenths now. That last lap I think was, it was 8 tenths quicker for Kieran Sharp. 1:32.1. So again, quickest lap of the race for him. Swish, indeed. So it's 1:32.127 to the 32.958 from Joe LaCour. So that is coming down bit by bit. You can see through this GP section he's going to be very strong. Up through Surtees, now coming down up the hill and then coming down into this GP section. Joe is going to have to be on it here. Otherwise I can see Kieran being less than half a second away by the end of this lap. And I think he's going to have a few laps of defending ahead of him. But he'll do his best. Scott Vincent looks like he's stabilised his form a little bit now. You can see he's not too far back. You can still see them, but they are a little bit up the road still. Daniel O'Brien still in second. Just took a little bit of time out. Ash Gledel has got ahead of Zvonimir Burek now. Oh, Sebastian Bush with a drive through there. So that'll be for track limits, I believe. Easily done around here. But more track time hopefully for him. Yes, Ash Gledel past Zvonimir Burek and trying to close in on Daniel O'Brien now for what would be a superb fourth spot. I know he'd be very happy with that. Joe LaCour does a good job on that last lap. Actually brought the gap out by a couple of tenths. So Sharp, Kieran Sharp in that dirty air. It's just struggling to close that gap a little bit further. You need to get a little bit closer. Daniel O'Brien going wide there into the gravel. A little bit of gravel as well for Ash Gledel. So both making that mistake. So that'll benefit Zvonimir in 6th more than anyone else. So Scott Nichols in 7th. Has Killian Ryan Moonen right up his trumpet now. The M4 and the Camaro. Killian using all of the runoff there. Don't think he wanted to do that, but got a little bit dragged out by the curb. Using all the runoff they can at Graham Hill as well. So still some good fights going on, like I said, for a smaller grid, for a casual night as it is. Still some great fighting going on. Oh, Scott using all of that runoff. So Killian does not need an invitation as well to try and make a move. He knows when to go for something. Will he try and go around the outside into this first right-hander of the GP section? I think he's going to have to try. He's got good momentum, no, but I think he might slot back in. Yeah, he'll slot in again. But he's got good speed there. He's got still a decent run out. Going to go for a bit of a cut back. No, the Camaro still holding firm. Big enough car to get in the way. Stick your elbows out. His closest fight on track at the moment. Actually, Janos Wenzel. Too used to seeing a letter J in it being a Joseph. Jonas Wenzel and Dean Thompson very close. Well, that Camaro still holding that line. BMW going to go for the inside line now. That cut back, and he has got it. Yep. So he's got a long side now. So he's going to have that grunt all the way down to the line. Yeah, and he's already got in front. So cuts back across. Wants to get onto the racing line. Did not want to get out hung to dry there and take a narrow line. Ran Paddock Hill up towards Druids. That wouldn't have helped him at all. So makes the move there. So up to 7th now, Killian, with Scott in pursuit. They'll try and eke a little bit more time out of that. Dean Thompson, but Jonas Wenzel just in behind. So it's good. Most cars still having someone to fight, which is nice. So a few of the cars further back all have had a few issues of their own. There's the odd spin here or there. Got another yellow flag. That might have been someone going wide. Hard to tell at the moment. Stefan Miller still going well in 9th. We're back on board with that front battle though. When the cameraman finds him, and there he is. Always seems to pick when it's that cameraman. Dear oh dear. He needs the sack, I think. Coming down into the second to last corner now. And they will have, I think, just the one lap remaining. Yep, now after this, they're coming around on to start their final lap. So what can Kieran Sharp do? Well, he's going to go all out. Is he going to try and take any risks here? Or will he settle for a second position? Just under 6 tenths. And Joe LaCour needs to be careful and not make any mistakes. He's going to push that car hard. He's going to try and get away with as much as he can get away with. So coming up to Druids, and that Kieran Sharp is very close now. A little bit of a wide exit from Paddock Hill for Joe LaCour has cost him a couple of tenths, and that has let Kieran Sharp get right on his bumper. Coming through Graham Hill Bend. Yeah, it's still very, very close. Kieran Sharp just trying to position his car here, trying to be smart here. It's less than 3 tenths this gap now, up through Surtees. Coming up the hill. So Sharp's going to have the stronger car through the twisty bits. But what is he going to do? Where is he going to try and make his move? Is he going to show his car, trying to get a little bit aggressive, coming through Hawthorne? First right-hander in the GP section. So it's not a section I'm particularly good with. And then you can see they take, that's at Westfield. You've got Dingledale. None of these corners very easy. Everyone struggles with these a little bit differently. They said they had Sheens and then through Sterling's coming down towards the final corner now, up through clearways. So is Sharp going to go for a move here? I just think it's a little bit too far back. He's going to try and get the best drive he can out of that final corner. And I think Joe LaCour is just going to hang on. And that's a superb drive from both of them. Well done, Joe. Superb win there. And a great second place there from Kieran Sharp. Scott Vincent's held on to third in that Maserati. And well done to him. Not an easy job. And it looks like Zvonimir Burek has just got Daniel O'Brien on the final corner. Daniel O'Brien just going a little bit wide, making that mistake. Oh, and that's cost him a 4th spot. Daniel O'Brien still with a good 5th position. Ash Gledall drops back to 6th, so I think a mistake or two from him in the last couple of laps. I think 38 on that last lap, so definitely made a mistake. Killian Ryan Mini not far back in the end, in 7th, so he was finding good pace right at the end. Scott Nichols finishing in 8th. Stefan Miller in 9th. Or evening batch. Well, thank you very much, man. 11 months with Prime. Really appreciate that, dude. Cheers, man. We have Andrew Pike coming home in 10th, so top 10 spot for him. Matt Acton in 11th. Janos Frenzel just pips down Dean Thompson to 12th. There's Martin Legg, Sebastian Bush and David Martin to come. Martin Legg and David Martin joining after the race has started, just getting a bit of track time. Weren't able to get in right at the start of the lobby. And Sebastian Bush as well was lapped, so he had a few issues. I think had his drive-through that would not have helped. Oh, can he catch it? Nicely done. Probably knows he's on stream as well. If he's anything like me, that makes him flustered. Evening, Cajun. Hope you're doing well, the man. Hope you are doing well. So Martin Legg will come across the line there. And that is everyone finished for race number 1. But Joe LaCour there, look at that beauty. It served him well. 3 and a bit tenths clear of Kieran Sharp in the end, held on to that gap for the last 2 laps pretty nicely. So Kieran Sharp could have tried to make a move. He definitely had the speed, but it did not quite come off for him. Bit of a helicam action there. You see all of the lorries parked out the back. But no, it's a good first race that. I think they'll all be getting a bit of a taste of it. It'll be interesting to see if they pick different cars for race number 2. You'd imagine there might be a bit of experimenting going on with, which is what this is for. There will be, so the league sign up open very shortly, and then we'll have the usual, we'll have a bit of practice. Yeah, they're not thirsty, these cars. So I've heard of people saying it's less than 2 litres a lap on some tracks. So it's going to be different tactical things to get used to, and different, you know, it's not just the same. It's going to be interesting to see how people get on with GT4s. You might have different. The quick drivers in the GT3 might not be the same as the quick drivers in the GT4. And that's what I'll be curious about. See how that maybe correlates. All the cars gone. So they'll be getting ready for the Zandvoort now. I'm sure I'll be kicked out of the server duly. And we'll be out of here. And as I said, they'll be getting ready for race number 2. So I lost connection. So I'll hop back to the... Let's hop back to the menus. And then, yeah, we'll get going for race number 2. So Zandvoort. Nice fun track. You've got your... it's a track that I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll suit the GT4s more than it suits the GT3s. I personally quite like this track into slightly slower cars. But that remains to be seen for the drivers in the lobby for sure. Yes, it did look a tad. So we'll get going in a second. We'll be interested to see if I can find any servers. That's always fun. I'm sure they're just restarting it as well. So yeah, I hope you are all well. How's your day been so far? Hopefully a good week too. So there we go, lovely, and we are straight in. Great stuff. So nice. Green light. Go, go, go. Nice track temperature here as well. I am not driving, I can assure you of that. So let's fire up the cameras again, and then we can swap to a different car, hopefully. I think we have a couple of different drivers with us in this race as well. So I think a few more to join still. So we have Christian Camprisia has joined. It's good to see him in. Hopefully 1 or 2 more. Hopefully might be able to join before the race gets started. Dean Thompson not mucking about, he's straight out there. There's a bit more track time, so all the practice they can do. I think most have stuck in the same car here for the second race as well. I don't think they've gone for anything different. We've got Martin Legg in the McLaren. We do have as well, let's go different camera. So Matt Acton's gone for the Audi in race number 2, interesting. Capricia's gone for the KTM, Killian Raikkonen staying in that BMW, see what he can do with a decent qualifying. Go on, Legg, with a nice bit of support, I'm sure he appreciates that. So up to 17 now, so all good. I'm sure this. I'm sure the league will have a good sign up, as ACC leagues usually do. So we'll go back to the trackside cameras. Let's go on board with. So quite a few still in the pits. Let's go with Kieran Sharp. So back in that Ginetta again. So let's take a lap with Kieran Sharp round Zandvoort. Not going to even try half of the track, the corner names around here. They are an absolute nightmare for someone like me to be able to read them off the hoof. So you can see he's getting on well with the Ginetta. I think the Ginetta and the Porsche will probably be Sharp's strongest cars. Now using all of the road there and some, so I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Getting that caught on stream. Let's go to Joe LaCour, so still in the Aston Martin, Cornwall Racing Team, Cornwall. Great win for him in race number 1. So he's clearly quite a strong candidate in the GT4 league if he was to take part. Has good pace in that Vantage. So just free practice at the moment, so everybody's in. They'll get used to the track, then they'll get qualifying, and then the race. Hopefully less than 6 minutes this time. We'll see if Kieran has altered that. We'll find out shortly. So yeah, plenty of runoff. Most of it's sand and gravel though, so try not to use it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they fare around here. A bit more going on than Brands at GP. So I can't wait till we get the extra British GT tracks as well. Your Donington, Alton Park and Snetterton. I think they'll be superb. And hopefully we'll get the Asian and US GT tracks as well further down the line. They'll be superb if that happens. Already some great content in ACC. The quality of the DLC and what they provide is top notch. So hopefully more of the same. So just a few more minutes of practice, then we can get going for qualifying. It's up to 18 now, so good stuff. A couple more in for this race. So even again, already Joe LaCour already setting a cracking time, 46.8. Interesting to see if anyone gets anywhere near that, anyone able to match. Using all the curve there. Got a couple of cars up in front. Matt Acton setting the time as well. Let's go on board with. Oh, we've got another drunk cameraman. Damn it! Someone flew him out to Holland. Darn them. I was hoping it'd be a different cameraman. Oh well. So Killian still in the BMW then. And looking to see if he can make a bit more of a dent as they didn't qualifying this time round. He'll be there from the start this time, so gives him more chance to put his car further forward for the race positions. Try to make it a little bit easier to fight further forward at the start. Not quite as easy to sieve through the pack in a slower car, obviously, so the GT4 doesn't allow really for someone just to fight their way through the pack, getting their elbows out, unless they're really, really rapid, very, very consistent. We know Killian is quick, but how quick is he in the GT4s compared to the GT3s? So he'll just start in his hot lap, his practice hot lap, see what sort of time he could set. Be interesting to see a comparison from him to the guys at the front. So everyone get a few laps in before they jump into quali and then they can get going. It's a good fun track this when you've got it nailed, once you're feeling comfortable. It's a bit ruthless though if you're making any mistakes, if you're putting the throttle down a little bit too early. You pop out onto the gravel and the grass and you are out of here. So you do have to be on your metal nice and early. Really focused, don't lose concentration. It'll be interesting to see in the race situations though, more than anything, how they manage that. Always very, very different. Kieran Sharp 2.1 off in practice, so I'm sure he can go quicker than that. Still that 46.4 from Daniel O'Brien, leading out Joe LaCour's time by 4/10. Got Wenzel in third, Gledel fourth, yeah, Sharp in fifth, David Martin sixth at the moment, Matt Acton in seventh with Martin Legg in behind in eighth. So they are the only times to be set at the moment. And there's another one, Killian Ryan Meenan, just over 3/10 off of Daniel O'Brien's time, so nice and close. It'll be interesting again to see the battles in this. It's a kind of car that I think you're going to see a lot of fighting, but I think it might take a little while for us to see everyone getting comfortable with the car. As Scott Vincent did change cars, gone for the Alpine. I did think that Maserati might not see two races. Quick experiment, probably liked it. It was kind of quick, but was a bit rusty. Where when it bit you on the bottom, it really hit hard. And I think he wants to drive this Alpine. Strong car, this. Nice distinctive livery as well, easy to spot. I think the other Alpine on track's got a very similar one. Wenzel going quicker again. A bit more pace in race number 2, we'll see. Goes up into second now. Just under a tenth behind Daniel O'Brien's time, so it's a very racy time. We'll get a little bit of squirrel in from the AMG there. Lovely looking livery again. Do love what you can do with this game with its built-in livery editor. Not sure if that's available yet for the GT4s, but no, the cars all look lovely. And there we go, forward into qualifying.
Go, go, go.
Let's get amongst it. Let's get straight out on track. So who's going to be the first to pop out of the pits? That looks like a very eager Scott Vincent, Daniel O'Brien following him there with someone right up his chuff. That's Killian Ryan Meenan. Well, we've got Debatch in with us. You can see in fifth, so we've lost someone else, but Debatch with us now. Lovely looking thing in the McLaren. So see what he can do this evening. Fairly new to ACC compared to some of our experienced league drivers, but will be great to see what he can do, get more and more familiar. Just needs to put time into the game and he will be more than good enough. Been an OTL driver now, been driving in OTL leagues for such a long time. So it's great to see him in this evening. So just 3 cars sat in the pits now. Everyone else out on track. So catching their turn of Sharpie right up his trumpet. Luckily it is an outlap. Another cool thing about the track map actually, don't know if it says it on here. So yeah, it will depending on, so the red dot is the one we're on at the moment. All the blue dots there, so if you're driving this yourself, those light blue dots means they're on an outlap. So it's the same for the drivers in game. If they have a light blue dot on their track map, their mini map, it means they are on an outlap. So that helps if you're say on qualifying and you know that they're on an outlap and you're on a hot lap, you can try and force them to be like flashing your lights and be like, look, let me pass, I'm on a quick lap. Hopefully it helps them too, because they can look back and see that you're on a hot lap, because the colours will change. You can see that car number 10, so that's Scott Vincent at the front of that queue. Let's go back to him. So there's a bit of a procession behind him, but Scott Vincent will be the first car over the line to start a hot lap. You see, not too bad a queue of cars, and then you see just quickly, let's go back to the track map. Yeah, they changed to grey, so grey means they are on a fast lap. So that's a great new integration into the game from Kunos, so very, very cool. You see yellow as well when they've gone off track. And as I said, in the pause menu, if you're driving, you can click on the circle going around the track map, and it will take you to that car. So that's very cool. Very, very well done, that is. Let's see what Scott Vincent can do. Only Matt Acton and Stefan Miller still sat in the pits. It's a quarter of our way through now. Oh, Scott using all of the road there. Nicely done too. Beautifully driven. A little bit of a slide there, but nothing too much. Just a little bit of controlled aggression. Daniel O'Brien just behind him on circuit. But Scott looking fighty so far. Looking like he's trying to go for it this lap. So Daniel O'Brien as well in behind. Looks like he's catching actually, if anything. And then Killian Ryan not far behind them. You see here. You see Daniel O'Brien, there we go, just up ahead. Got a yellow flag out on track, so someone's gone wide, but all good now. It's just honestly, occasion with ACC on console, it's just they've had to compromise heavily to get it on console. So it's one of those you're never ever going to be able to get. I've got a powerful PC, a fairly new powerful PC, so that it can run something like this. Because even on PC, ACC is not that well optimized. Like it requires quite a lot of beef to run it and do everything else with it. So on PC, just to get the physics right, and rightly so, they didn't want to compromise on the physics. Oh, Daniel O'Brien had a great time. Oh, just half a tenth ahead of Killian Ryan, so very close after first lap. No, but honestly, they were going to always... Oh, someone into the gravel. Let's go. There they are. That was Daniel O'Brien. So that's his next lap not going to be quite what he wanted. Going to bother Killian Ryan for a little bit longer. Yeah, you can do a lot more of this. It's just easier because I've got, literally on PC, I've got entire camera controls. So I've got different car cameras, so chase cam, far chase cam, bonnet, a dashboard cam, 2 dashboard cams, a cockpit cam, a helmet cam, heli cam, 4 onboard cams, and then you've got 3 pit lane cameras, and then you've got 2 sets of TV cameras. So it will be about how they allow you to control those on PC. In terms of streaming, I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. We'll have to have a look. We're running out of days left in the week, frankly, as well. But no, it's good. It's great. It means we can bring better action to you guys. We can, when you've got close action, you can fire to the bonnet cam or the rear wing cam, like I did earlier. Yes, you can join. So because you have access to all the files, they're JSON files. You can edit so that I join as a spectator, not as a car. Whereas obviously on AC on Xbox, I have to join and then drive off, and the camera controls are very, very rudimentary. Bit of a shame because it'd be so good if it had some good broadcasting modes. But yeah, being on PC does allow you a little bit more freedom with the file access and whatnot. Let's go ball with Kieran Sharp. It's just over half a tenth off the pace at the moment. Daniel O'Brien's time Still holding strong at the top of the standings. I know, you know, like, so I'm vehemently fond of I like all platforms, to be honest. I'm just got on console. It's not as easy to stream. That's where Project Cast is so handy on console. Is it has that built-in spectate and broadcast and director mode, which is great. If ACC had something like that, it'd be so good. But a bit older that game, unfortunately. But yeah, what ACC will have on console, we'll have to wait and see in terms of streaming once the private lobby stuff's happened. We'll see what our options are. So quite close in this back between Joe LaCour, Fenzel and Sharp. Not much between them at all. So less than half, just over half a tenth between Killian Ryman and Daniel O'Brien in the top two spots, the Aston and the BMW. So Killian clearly going to be more fighty in this race than he was in the first race this evening. Car looked like it was going into the pits. Don't think so. Just putting it out of the way. Watson Sharp up to fourth. Joe LaCour into the pits. That was who I think we saw pull over. So Killian Sharp, it just improved a little bit there. Killian Ryman is in the pits. Scott Vincent still out on track. Let's see what he can do. 3.5 tenths. He's going to have to push if he wants to trouble the times up the top. As saying that, Daniel O'Brien improved then. 1:45.510. He'll be very happy with that. So good driving from him so far. So 0.324 he needs to make up to try and take that top spot. But a tenth will be good enough to see him jump Killian for second. Although Killian obviously on the lap as well, see if he can improve his time. So to get a quick time out of this GT4 does take a fair bit of practice. Like I said, I think we'll see sort of very different times given them a few more weeks. So these cars have literally been out less than 2 days so far. They came out 2 PM yesterday. So there's only been so much time they can spend with them, and they're going to take a fair bit of getting used to still to really wring the speed out of cars on ACC. You do take a lot more practice. So Martin Legg improves there. Scott Vincent improves as well, but Killian Ryman keeps second. Scott not quite gaining enough time to take that spot. Ash Gledall up on his best up at the moment. Not sure if it'll be enough to jump Zvonimir for seventh. So it will be quite close. Gone for the Porsche for this race in the KTM in the previous race. And so he's got Joe LaCour just behind him as well. It's a lovely looking livery, I have to say that is, Ash. Beautiful thing. Very simple but very, very nice. Loving that. So he's coming down towards the line. He's about half a second up, so he's going to be very close to Zvonimir's time. Oh yeah, he beats it by 7/100ths of a second. Just over 8/100ths of a second. Good lap that by Ash. But still needs 6/10ths to gain another spot, so it'll be quite difficult to jump up any further. Checkered flag is now out, so Ash is done. He pulls over. Killian in second. Not up on his time that I can see at the moment. Daniel O'Brien is out. On track still, but not up on his lap, so I think he will be done as well. The Alpiner Scott Vincent again is also down on his time, so I think he's finished as well. I think he's about to pit. Yep, so he's losing loads of time, so he's coasting now, I think. Got Joe LaCour, he's still pushing, but he is still about a tenth or two down. Not improving on his lap currently, and yep, that will be him. Ouch, that'll be him. Finito for quali. But hey ho, he was pushing it, fair play to him. Go hard or go home. So 1 minute 7 seconds remaining to complete the lap they're on. Most now in the pits though, just Ryan Meenan, Scott Nicholls in 9th. He's up by a couple of tenths, but needs a little bit more than that to gain a spot, and he's 8th tenths. So quite a big gap between him and the next car in front. You've got Campresia and Matt Acton in 16th, still out on track. I think Matt Acton is done as well by the looks of the timing. I think he is finished. Yep, so he's in the pits as well. So just Campresia, who's about a tenth up. Again, now needs half a second. And you've got Killian Ryan Meenan. So how much has he improved by? Has he improved at all? Quarter of a second off of pole. And that doesn't change. So, there we go. So he is not able to jump that time. Scott Vincent still only 15 thousandths behind him, but Daniel O'Brien, he'll be chuffed with that. Well done, Daniel. He takes the pole position. No, we'll go back to the garage then. We'll go. So yeah, Daniel O'Brien. See the fastest first sector. Killian, oh dear, let's mixing all of the names there. Killian Ryan Meenan with the fastest third sector, and Scott Vincent with the fastest middle sector. So a nice mismatch, a mix and match of times. Albeit a similar amount of attempts in as well. But those hot 3 sectors all come from the top 3 drivers. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare in the race. So top 6 within a second. So 7 maybe is on a Burek. 5 thousandths outside of that second. But pretty close. Be interesting to see how they fare during the race. Very different kettle of fish. So we can get going in a second once it lets me drive. If I keep clicking the things. Weird, sometimes it lets me drive really quickly, but not yet. So yes, good luck all drivers. It'll be interesting to see how they fare this time. Killian starting much further forward. Does it let me drive now? No. So Killian starting much further forward this time. So it'll be a very different battle from him. You can see this is the sort of screen that they see if they're driving on the pause menu, and you can click the different dots as I showed. See, like that? Very, very cool. But Daniel O'Brien on the pole. Is it going to let me hit drive? Weird. I could have just done that. Now I know. Every day's a school day. So, let's go to our lovely old pre-race chopper cam. Should have 18 drivers all with us hopefully for the race still. So short formation lap, I hope. At least we didn't have 6 minutes this time. I feel like no time at all. I'm sure they are all pretty much ready. As I said, not much to change in these GT4 cars. Just 20 seconds to go then. Daniel O'Brien will try and do his best off the start, try and hold back Ryan Meenan, Scott Vincent, Kieran Sharp, Joe LaCour. So formidable front few rows there. We've got Wenzel as a new driver. So one of the Bureks done plenty of leagues with us as well. And then Gledel into the mid pack, slightly back on pace. So they will, don't think they'll be fighting at the front, but they'll do the best they can. And hopefully have a good battle in the mid pack. So they are away. Daniel O'Brien leading them round. Killian Ryan Meenan on the right in the metallic blue BMW again. Kieran Sharp behind him. You've got Scott Vincent in behind Daniel O'Brien in that Alpine. Or Alpine, I should say. So come around down towards the start line now. Getting ready to go. Hopefully no one will get any penalties here. Nothing silly.
Green light, go, go, go.
And they are going. Looks like everyone was okay. So Daniel O'Brien is a solid start there. He's going to want to be careful not to leave too much of the door open though for Killian Ryan Meenan. Yeah, and he's left that opportunity there, so I would have shut that door early, but Daniel O'Brien's been confident in his own abilities and trying to hang it round the outside. He's done a good job of that too. Killian's got to be careful not to get caught by Kieran Sharp, Scott Vincent as well, on the outside in that Alpine. I'm going to get that name right eventually. So Kieran Sharp trying to go the long way round. Got to Lecourt and Wenzel in behind them. Looks like Wenzel has got past Lecourt. That green and black AMG. The front two really put a couple of tenths away from Scott Vincent in third. So he's trying to keep Kieran Sharp in behind him. Wenzel looking like he's going to try and get fighty about this. Yeah, team admin, there's several in here to be honest. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. Look how many people that have been admins. There's 7 or 8. There's quite a few. Looking very good. Still everyone nice and close together. No one's had a massive crash, I don't think, at the start of the race. Everyone's still fairly close. Having a few coming togethers. Hopefully nothing too severe so far. But yes, we'll know by the end. But look at this, the GT4 action at its best here, all very, very close by. Coming around to end lap number 1. So Daniel O'Brien's very happy with his start, I'm sure. Ryan Meenan still in for a good fight here. You can see if we look back, this is going to be great. If you look back, which camera is it? That one, there we go. So Ryan Meenan, Daniel O'Brien does not want to leave that door open yet again. Ryan Meenan does not need an invite up the inside. Got to be very careful there. Although he's got to be careful as well. If he fights too much here, Scott Vincent's got past Kieran Sharp. Sharp's now down to 4th. But Scott Vincent will not need an invite either. So Ryan Meenan is going to have to attack and defend here simultaneously. Not easily done. pretty much gauging, yeah. But yeah, some fast drivers in here. So several more that hopefully will do the league, I'm sure. So Thursday night sort of should be interesting. So Daniel O'Brien driving nice and solid at the moment, keeping Ryan Meenan, Scott Vincent, Kieran Sharp, Wenzel, Lecourt and co behind. No really massive spaces. I think the batch having a few issues. Unfortunately, so he is at the back of the pack. But again, he's much newer to this game, so it's going to take a little bit longer for him to get used to, understandably. But at the moment, most gaps under a second. As you can see, these guys, Kieran Sharp's got Wenzel in behind him, but he's also trying to close down to Scott Vincent in third. So not easily done. This front 5, no time between them at all. We're talking less, just over 2 seconds maybe at a push between the top 5. Top 6, if you include the core, not much between them either. About 1.7 back to Zvonimir Burek. So a little bit of a gap from him to the guys up front. Oh, you see Joe Lecourt having a bit of a squirrel on if in the gravel. And then behind them, Scott Nichols. Got Ash Gledel behind him. Scott doing what I was imploring Daniel to do earlier and try and take that inside line into turn 1. But you do have to be careful, not leave that gap open on the exit like he's done here. That Camaro going wide. I don't think it's going to allow Ash through there, just cocking the leg up on the curb. Oh, and Ash, unfortunately, not able to get past him. I'm not sure if that was a tap from Ash. I think Ash is going to wait there, so I think Ash is feeling guilty about that. It's unfortunate. It does happen, though. Easy done. Ash is a gem of a fella, so he's going to sit there and wait. But yeah, it's just unlucky. They were very, very close together at that speed around these kind of corners. You've got your cambered corners, your elevation changes. You don't need much persuasion to go around, unfortunately. So yeah, just unlucky there really, but fair play to Ash for waiting. Always a good egg on that front. So look how close these guys are getting. Second, third, fourth and fifth. Nothing between them at all now. Scott Vincent looks like he's got second, ahead of Killian Ryan Meenan. So Ryan Meenan now in third, trying to fight to get second position back from Scott Vincent, but trying to keep Kieran Sharp at bay. Not going to be easy. Killian again going to go for that inside line. Scott Vincent maybe leaving a little bit of a gap. Killian does not need an invitation, like I said. You just leave a bit of room that he can sneak that car up, and he will go for it, and fair play. Some will be quite cautious, but he decides to go for those gaps if they are there. And yes, a tactic that serves him well, I'm sure. Kieran Sharp, no gap between him and Ryan Meenan really at all, just a couple of tenths. As near as makes no difference. Oh, the car going very wide in the background, using all of the road and some. Nearly using a bit of the wall as well. Scott Vincent So doing what O'Brien didn't do earlier, covering off that inside line. But these guys fighting, that's letting Daniel O'Brien get away now. 1.7 seconds. Ryan Minnan up the inside. Scott going wide in that Alpine. Again, Ryan Minnan goes for that inside line, gets alongside. Scott Vincent will have the inside line though into the left-hander. Kieran Sharp now looks to maybe make a move up the inside of Ryan Minnan himself, and Wenzel as well coming in for the ride. So he's joined this party. Some of the guys that finished further back in race 1 clearly got pace, just didn't quite get time to nail qualifying in race number 1. Or they're just getting much more confident with the car, they're getting a bit more time under their belt. So Daniel O'Brien 2.4 seconds, he's pulling away now. More and more, these guys just fighting and fighting. Kieran Sharp up the inside now, will be on the inside line into this tight right-hander. And look, Wenzel going for it as well, using a lot of curb, just about legal. The game will have told him if it was or wasn't, so Ryan Minnan might lose 2 positions there. So he does, he pops down to 5th, so Vincent in 2nd, Ryan Minnan is now down to 5th, Sharp in 3rd, Wenzel in 4th. Wenzel though on the outside, Ryan Minnan going on the inside of Wenzel. Does he make that move, gets past the AMG, that BMW trying to just keep its nose in front. Again, looks like he's going to try and go slightly defensive, make sure he covers off that inside line, doesn't need to in the end. But all this fighting's let Joe LaCour close in now, so he's on the back of this pack. Nice and close. Let's go further back, see how the guys behind it are doing. So we've got Burek in 7th. Andrew Pike in 8th, a little bit of a no man's land at the moment. Car up ahead and car behind a bit away from him. Got David Martin just behind him. Then you've got Stefan Miller and Martin Legg here. Martin Legg in that McLaren. Trying to get past Stefan. Not much you could do there, to be honest. If I was Martin Legg, I'd carry on. Don't think that was a car that was already spinning. Definitely didn't spin Stefan Miller around there. That was Stefan Miller having a spinning leg, not being able to avoid. So let's go on board with Matt Acton in 13th. So he's got Dean Thompson just in behind. Martin Legg just up in front. Martin Legg now alongside. So having a good fight here. Got Compresia a fair bit up track. I think that might be Debatch just in front of Note. Debatch in 18th, so he's still going, but yeah, a little bit off the pace at the moment. Just getting some track time in Note. So Dean Thompson just by Matt and Martin Legg, so some three-way fight here as well. Let's go back to that fight up front. So Scott Vincent got away a little bit in 2nd. Still 2.8 seconds though away from Daniel O'Brien. So O'Brien here looking really good for a potential race win. And Ryan Minnan again having to defend from Wenzel, and that is the meaning that Sharp is just dropping him a little bit. Up to about a second now. Wenzel goes wide there, so that's not going to help his cause at all. That puts an end to his attack of Ryan Minnan for the time being. So now Ryan Minnan will have his eyes set, trying to close that gap back on Kieran Sharp. It should be much more doable. Oh, and that car off, that was Scott Vincent. Yeah, and it was, so just struggling with that Alpine. He's just made a mistake. Let's go back far enough and see if we can catch it. Yeah, and it's just got inside tyre on the curve and it's just spun him round. It's just lost a little bit of traction. Hasn't had all 4 wheels on the tarmac. And round he went. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, no, he's not too far off the back of that group. So he's down to 6th now. Joe LaCour is just in front. Kieran Sharp trying to close in on Daniel O'Brien, but that's going to be a struggle now. 1:44.8 is his best lap. Only driver in the 44s at this track so far. Been only one with a bit of free track to try and do that kind of time, I would imagine. So Sharp trying to close him in. You won't be able to see Daniel O'Brien up ahead, but Ryan Minnan now closing up again. Wenzel will try and come in with. So will Joe LaCour. So the league of these should be pretty fun, to be honest. There should be some good points being set in by many different drivers. Should be interesting to see some different finishing positions. Not as easy to get away as well in these GT4s as it is in the GT3s. Yeah, I think it's just you imagine you take the front left off the road on the curb like that, and it's just it's just slightly unlucky, and once it's gone, if you're on the curb still, that's going to be pretty hard to stop it going round, especially around here. You know, the elevation changes and the slight cambers of the road. It's not the flattest circuit.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
So 10 minutes to go now. There's a pit crew there, so kindly tell us. Kieran Sharp closing in now, 3.9, so that's come down by about 7/10 of a second in that previous lap. So still got plenty of time if they were to close in at that rate to try and get Daniel O'Brien in their sights. We can see it's a good lead at the moment. So Daniel O'Brien's just going to have to focus here, not get worried about seeing that gap come down. Just do his own thing. Stick to his own race. Don't want to get affected by other people. Let's go back to watch Joe LaCour. So Joe LaCour trying to fight with Wenzel here for that 4th spot. Scott Vincent just behind them in 6th. One of them just in picture there in 7th. Joe LaCour hugging that apex nicely. Wenzel though going a bit wide, missing the apex. Cost him a couple of tenths. Joe LaCour now. He'll look to try and make a move. He'll try and get as close as he can. Look for a corner, look for an opportunity to make a move. See if Wenzel leaves a gap open up on the inside at a corner. But again, he's got to make sure he focuses on his own driving as much as anything else. Make sure he doesn't make any silly mistakes. And keep it nice and close. Ryan Meenan, let's go quickly on board with him. He has closed down Kieran Sharp again. So getting close between these two. It will allow that gap from 2nd up to Daniel O'Brien in 1st to just get a little bit larger again. But looking strong. Still some good lap times being set, but Daniel O'Brien feeling pretty comfortable at the moment, it would seem. Lost a couple of tenths on the previous lap, but it was only a couple of tenths. It was nothing too severe. And he's got that that time to play with at the moment. Just under 8 minutes to go now. So we'll have 4 more laps after this one, maybe 5 actually. Because it will be 5 laps. Yeah, so it will be 5 more laps. There's still plenty of time to go, plenty of time to close that gap. So it's still 3.8. So you can see that Jeanette is good around that final sector. Clear Ryan Meenan going a little bit deep there. Let's get it turned around. So that's lost him a few tenths. That's a shame. So he'll have to make that time back up. Scott Vincent all over the back of Joe LaCour now. So he's going to have to be patient here. Look for the opportunity for a move. Car goes a bit long there just to make sure he doesn't plant it up the exhaust pipe. Hello Pineapples, yep, now we'll go and watch a bit more of them in a second. Hello Bo, every little helps and all that, they all count. Hope you're well man. Yeah, GT4s are good fun these. Oh, and there's clearly Ryan Meenan taken to the grass. That would have not been the quickest way through there. Would not have done his car any good. A little bit of floor damage there maybe. Wouldn't have been the most comfortable route through that corner, that's for sure. Oh, very kind boat. Nicely rounds it up. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated, dude. So I hope you're doing well, dude. Or can I call you dude again? So I'm going to go on board with Camprisia, so he's gone for the crossbow. He's right in behind Martin Legg here. He's going to go to the left-hand side. Legg in the McLaren. Don't think he's going to be able to hold him off here, but might just have enough in the inside line. No, he's alright. He's got far enough in front. Used that speed there. Camprisia maybe looking at the inside gap. There wasn't there, though. Matt Acton in behind in that headache of a livery. Yeah, I'm not too bad, man. Yeah, getting there, dude. Getting there. Better than I have been. Can't complain. But yeah, hope you're good as well, mate. So Matt Acton in 11th, right in behind this fight. Got Dean Thompson in 12th as well, so 9th back to 12th, all very, very close. So some great fighting still going through the back of the pack as much as it is at the front. Oh, and that's a bit of a nosedive there, and yeah, just a little bit of a missed breaking point. Just hasn't spun him around those. GT4s do seem to be a little bit more sympathetic. Nope, no it's not. No, this is just qualifying race. So these were just 2 sprint races. Brands GP and Zandvoort. We just 10-minute qualifying beforehand. So this is the Thursday. There will be a GT4 league. It will be on Thursdays. The sign-ups will be open pretty shortly. So you've got Daniel O'Brien driving superbly at the front at the moment. Oh, thank you very much. New gamers, thank you very much, Jimmy. Noob's very, very kind man. Hope you're well. Many familiar names as well. How are you all doing? Evening, everybody. So yes, we've got 4.5 minutes, so we're quite towards the end of this stream. But yes, indeed. So Daniel O'Brien driving superbly at the moment. 4.4 seconds off in the lead. Kieran Sharp trying to catch up with them though. Not too bad, Jimmy man. Not too bad. Cheers for the host, HRS. Thank you very much for the follow as well. 2001. And Ilham 1987. We'll try to commentate on the race as well while all these alerts are popping off. So much appreciate though. Thanks for the raid again. Do very much appreciate it. And all the awesome stuff you guys do. I'm sure if you don't already, do go and follow New Gamers. It's some great stuff they do there. Gotta love their production as well. It's great stuff. Superb watch. Racer XTC, thank you very much as well for the follow. And yeah, all round good guys as well, which is always nice. Yeah, it's a lovely thing. It's a lovely thing, Jimmy, honestly. Beautiful game, good fun to stream as well. It's nice from a streamer's point of view, from the broadcasting stuff. But yeah, these GT4s providing some great racing. We've had fighting all throughout the pack. You can see Venzel at the moment with Ryan Meenan. It's Beamer holding off this AMG nicely. They've all had their fights. The second down to fifth was very close, but again, those fights stretching out a little bit now. Getting their own space to fight. Putting up some tests. Yeah, it's a GT4 test evening, yeah. Thank you very much, Ryan. The host with the most. Thank you very much, Ryan, for the follow. Much appreciate that. Hope you're well as well, dude. So yes, the GT4 League will be opening in the next few days. It'll be on Thursday nights. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, these cars in the league. Much closer than the GT3s. I think some will prefer them. You may have not seen as the fastest drivers in the GT3 leagues. Scottish Ian, thank you very much for the follow. Wonder where he's from. Only joking. No, you are Ian, don't you panic. Thank you very much, man. So just a couple of laps now remaining. Daniel O'Brien driving superbly. Let's go back to Andrew Pike. Trying to fight with David Martin here. Mr. Goss, what a name that is. Mr. Kinderegg, thank you very much for the follow. What a belter of a name that is. I'm always jealous of people with really good usernames. Just because mine's absolutely awful, so... Well, it's not awful, it's just really uninventive. So, same thing. But Mr. Kinderegg, thank you very much. I'll try and think of a surprise pun at some point. But I hope you had a good stream this evening as well. All over New Gamers. Did have a quick peek earlier on while I was streaming this, can't lie. So it's awesome to see Project Cars still getting good views as well. So yeah, hope you had a really good evening. But honestly, yeah, too, it's great. Yeah, try and keep just nudging them, keep moaning at them to do ACC, and I'm sure they will eventually. Ah, good man. Yeah, it's always can be tiring. It's good fun, but it does take a bit out of you. Always nice to let someone else struggle with the pain. So let's go on board with Kieran Sharp for a little bit. 4.2 back from Daniel O'Brien. So Daniel doing a great job, not being able to not letting those guys close up at all, even once they've got into their own air. Once they've stopped fighting, Sharp's just not been able to do anything about it, and O'Brien has been off into the distance. 4.2 seconds clear. Although saying that, Sharp now clear of Ryan Meenan in third, doing a great job. 1.5 seconds back. He's still trying to hold off Jonas Venzel in third and fourth.
Alright, man. The leader is on
So
the final
on to the
lap.
final lap now.
Push.
Thank you very much, pit crew. Much appreciated. The action pack, yeah, it's do see those races. I've watched those races a few times with you guys, and always superb. Thank you very much for the follow, Merc Madman, ALH, much appreciated. So I hope you're all well. Hope you've had a good day so far, and yeah, I hope you had a really, really good stream. A good bunch of fun. And so I really appreciate all the new follows. Any questions, just ask as well. If you're not already in our Discord, you can type in !Discord. It's good questions, Ian. I'm not sure. I don't think so. They won't be bringing any cars for a while now. It's going to be the British GT tracks coming later on this year. So that'll be Snetterton, Alton Park, and Donington. I think I just said 3 different tracks. I shouldn't have been repeating them if there's only 3, but they'll be great fun. But support series, maybe in the future. I don't think it'll go down to GT5. You would need smaller tracks. You wouldn't be able to do like full 2-minute Silverstone layout really. Yeah, I think that would probably be a bit of an ask. They would need to do the smaller layouts, but you never know. What they've done so far with Kunos has been great quality, so you can only cross your fingers and hope really. But yeah, that British GT pack is going to be superb. I mean, the GT4's come out yesterday, 11 cars, and it cost $17.99 Great British pounds, and you cannot argue about that for value for money at all. So superb driving from Daniel O'Brien. He's been on it all race. He's not let them get anywhere near him, and he will be absolutely cock-a-hoop at that. Well done, Daniel. Superb win. Steven Sharp comes home in second, and he holds off Killian Ryan Meaning. Wenzel not able to make his way past in fourth. Green AMG. There we are. Joe LaCour in fifth. Good drive from him as well after the race win in the first race this evening. It is, yeah, that is Pineapples. That is the first thing people mention. This is one where comes home in sixth. David Martin, let's find him in seventh. Andrew Pike just behind him in the BMW in 8th position. But yeah, iRacing is the first thing people compare. That's same here, racer. That's what I'm gagging for. I can't wait for that. Caprese comes home in 9th. Martin Legg in 10th. Tried to do a bit of commentating and chatting at the same time. Dean Thompson comes home in 11th. Ash Gledlow in that lovely Porsche in 12th. And Scott Nichols in that Camaro in 13th position. Stefan Miller in the purple and green. Very nice livery that. The Ivan Ooze livery, if anyone's old enough to remember that. It comes home in 14th position. We do have some leaving the session, so the positions will change a little bit. We have the Batch in 14th, so I think he's raced in a bit of new gamer stuff before. New to ACC, so it's a bit rusty at the moment, but I'm sure he'll get up to speed. Yeah, that looked quite fun, Leg. That looked quite fun. Well done, man. Oh, man, good luck, Ian. Yeah, good luck with that. The British GT track will be amazing. So GT4 tracks will be amazing. Yeah, shame about the VR, like you said. If they suddenly nailed VR, then yeah, wow, that'd be unbelievable. Would be hard as hell though to process. Let's be fair. So Sebastian Bush coming across the line. Just got Matt Axton apparently though, although he's sat in the pits. So don't think he'll be finishing anytime soon. So I think that is our lot. Let's go to a nice bit of helicam action. Look at that for a steady hand of a helicopter pilot. Not moving a muscle. 11 cars for a third of a price of 2020. And it only gives you 10 cars. Yeah, and it's the quality of the cars in this game in ACC is superb, so you cannot argue at all. The audio is mega, the game looks great. The quality of all the new tracks and all the new cars they add are superb. Yeah, for me, it's the best game out there at the moment. But yeah, and hopefully they keep building on it, and it's great fun to commentate and stream on, so I cannot complain. So yes, this league is going to be on a Thursday, so this was just a test night effectively. This only came out yesterday. But the forthcoming league will be on a Thursday night. We'll have the sign-ups open before the end of the weekend, and then we will have the league start. We'll probably have 2 assessment races beforehand, and then we will get off into the league, and it'll be a 6-week league as always. Pep talk there for the commentator from the pit crew, much appreciated. Do what I can. But yeah, as Leg says, there are different weights, different characteristics for each car. Very, very interesting dynamic for the racing. Nothing wrong with a bit of 900p. Okay, nothing wrong with a bit of 900p. It's a 30 frames a second that's more of a headache. But hey ho, you get the same force feedback, so which is an engineering masterpiece that they've got it to work on console at all. To be fair, so fair play to them. But hopefully they can optimise as they go. And it is a couple of versions behind PC. PC is now 1.5. I think Xbox is 1.34 or 1.3.4, something around that. So it has got a fair few improvements to come. So yeah, a bit of patience, and it will still be awesome on console, I'm sure. They're a big fan of the McLaren. Yeah, it's going to be a good mix. That's the great thing about this GT4 is you're not just going to have everyone pick the Alpine or the Ginetta. There's different characteristics depending on the track, depending on your preferences for how you like a car to handle. And we're going to see some interesting stuff for sure in this league. Let's sod that. Let's not have that helicopter noise. That is annoying. But yeah, cheers for all of you joining in at the end. I'm sorry it wasn't a little bit earlier. We didn't have a slightly longer evening for you. Obviously, I think new gamers, you guys start streaming a little bit before us, but not miles before, and you have a slightly longer night, so it levels out, unfortunately. the occasion. That's the problem. To get the force feedback on console, you have to dumb the graphics down that far. You literally can't. There is nothing you can do about it. It's the only thing you can do. If you've got to balance it, they did it the right thing. They did the right thing. Take the graphics down as far as you can on console and see how far they have to go to get the same physics. And yeah, it's just unfortunate. What I'll expect is a new generation version in a few months' time when the new consoles are out. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a better version of the console. Yeah, I would imagine they have to upgrade it because that'll be a great machine. So it has to come out on the Series X as well, or get a free upgrade or something like that. I wonder if I read something where you do get. Did I read somewhere you get a free upgrade if you buy? I'm sure I might have seen something like that. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens there. Anyways, on that note, as I said, we've had 2 superb races this evening. I think they've thoroughly enjoyed themselves. A lot of different cars in the GT4s. And I think we'll see quite a few different selections, possibly all 11 in the league. So yeah, really looking forward to that. It's going to be superb. And some great racing we saw tonight, some close racing as well. So yeah, really appreciate everybody for watching this evening. Thanks for all the follows at the end as well. Really appreciate that. Thanks for the cheers earlier, Bo and Lozzie. Really appreciate that. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow again for round number. Let's double check because I will get this wrong. I believe it is round number 3. It is round number 3 of the F3, the Formula 3 series on Race Room. That is at Monza. So that has all the potential obvious downfalls at turn 1. But we will see. Fingers crossed everything will be nice and clean. Yeah, really appreciate that as well, Jimmy. Really appreciate that, dude. So yeah, thanks again as always. Awesome stuff. Really appreciate it coming from you as well. You guys are awesome. So thank you. So yes, I'll be back tomorrow, same time, about 8 PM British summertime. For, yes, Monza in the Formula 3s on the Race Room. I'll be back on Sunday with more ACC. That is for the evaluation race number 2, so our final evaluation race for our forthcoming GT3 ACC League. That's season number 4. I think it's 4, it might be 5. I think it's 4, pretty sure it's 4. And that is at Zolder. So again, with great fun. So yeah, some great racing in those leagues as well. Quite a few of the drivers, most of the drivers that are here tonight, will be here on Sunday, or if not, will be in the league. So that'll be great fun. And then next week on Tuesday, we have our Project Cars 2 Xbox League. Season number 5 of the Clio Cup starting up again. Always awesome Clios on Xbox. They always provide some amazing racing. Small grids, so about 12 cars. But yeah, the driving level we have in that league is unbelievable. So they will be so superbly close. Yeah, it's good fun, Ian. It's good fun to drive that. Really good fun. And yeah, it's not that expensive for all the content, so I can't complain. But the Clios on the Xbox, honestly, they're so good. So good that we don't really have any bugs, so to speak, on the Xbox either. It's just, as long as you do the right things to avoid the obvious problems, then you should be fine, frankly. There should be no issues at all. Well, I think my CPU's apparently about to go bang, according to this warning in the top, so I will not hang around for much longer, just in case my my PC catches fire. But yeah, it was some great fun. But yeah, Friday, tomorrow, I'll be back with the Formula 3s. ACC again on Sunday. And then next Tuesday with the Clios again on Xbox One Project Cars 2. So yes, awesome stuff. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate all the cheers and the follows. And yeah, cheers for the raid. That was very kind of you. So thank you very, very much. And yeah, I really appreciate it. So I better be off 20 to 10, sort of later than I'm normally on here. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. And if I don't see you at the weekend, I will see you hopefully tomorrow for a bit of race room. And if not, have a great weekend, and I will see you all again next time. So cheers everybody. See you all soon, and goodbye.